Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run over me.
Hi, welcome to Be My Guest. This is Jan Lewis. Today it's a little bit warmer outside. We went through the deep freeze last let's see, I think cabin fever was about one of the worst times I've ever had it. It was just awful. Today we have Kimberly Cake, and Kimberly is the co-owner of Enchanted Passage, and it's a children's bookstore over in Sutton, and I'm very happy to have you here. It took us a while to get you here.
Hello, yes, I'm so excited to be here.
It was great. Yeah, she has brought us samples of what's over at the bookstore, and of course books... I'm an avid reader. I can't tell you enough. And recently you had one of the authors I work as publicist for.
Yes, absolutely. So Anita Caruso, who is lovely, she came out with her great-grandchild Braden, who this book is about, and she's got a series of 3, and the magic glasses that went with it. All of the books got glasses.
Did she drive in from the Cape or from Sutton, her daughter?
So she came from the Cape the night before and stayed with her daughter, and the whole family came, and it was wonderful.
And then it was snowing
and it snowed like crazy.
Kimberly, when did you open the store?
So we just celebrated 1 year. We opened December 2nd last year during the Sutton Chain of Lights. Was our grand opening last year, and we just celebrated a year a couple of weeks ago.
And you are, is where the post office, that plaza is?
So you keep going a little bit past that. Exit 7, Central Turnpike.
Okay.
You take exit 7, and then immediate right is Armsby Road. We're right there. It's the old Valancourt Folk Arts building.
Oh, okay. You're up off 146.
Yes, directly off of 146. You take the exit where your immediate right. It's a large pink 1824 house with an 8-foot blow-up dragon in the front yard. It's a little hard to miss.
Who thought of the title Enchanted Passage?
So my mom and I brainstormed everything together, and it was a play on... of course, our love of books and passages and reading, but also we had this vision of it being a meandering maze, and for each genre has its own section, so there's a passage into every section that's thematic, so it was a blend of those two things.
Did you go to college and major anything in literature?
So I am a former elementary school teacher.
Where'd you go to school?
University of Arizona, actually.
Did you come from there originally?
So originally I was born here. I grew up in Arizona. We moved there. Yeah. I was 4. Yeah. And then I taught overseas for a few years and came back and taught in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, most recently in Webster at St. Louis.
Yeah.
And loved teaching. I love the kids. I always knew that I wanted to continue that.
Yeah. I can see where you'd be good with children.
Yeah,
right on.
Thank you.
She's you're bubbly, and a lot of fun.
So, I never imagined owning, well, that's not true. When I was in college, I had this great dream of someday I was going to have a children's bookstore, and my mom kind of had a different vision. And then I had a child who was a 24-weeker. We spent a lot of time in hospitals over the first 2 years of her life.
Talk about preemie.
She was just over a pound when she was born. So my aunt likes to joke she wasn't even the size of a chicken when we brought her home. But it just wasn't flexible enough to be in the classroom, and as much as I loved it, we brainstormed something that would let me have more flexibility when she had hospital stays or when I needed to go, but still maintained all of the things we loved. And both of us felt really committed about fostering love of literacy and literature for kids, and that was really important.
You grew up around books as I did.
I did, yes. My grandmother was an avid reader, and I can't remember a time when we weren't reading together. My mom was always an avid reader, so...
Did she read to you? Mine did.
All the time.
Before bed, until I was about 8 years old, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Finally one night she said, "Jan, you're old enough to read to yourself." Yeah, I was old enough to read to myself, but I wanted to listen to her.
It is still fun to listen to people read together, and actually I used to recommend that to a lot of older students too, that you're never too old to listen to a good story and to read aloud.
Definitely.
So we're starting a family book club for just that reason, to encourage parents and kids to read together. And we started thinking that it was going to be an intermediate reader to middle school school grade. So I picked this
Oh,
book
this looks so good.
that I just love. I read cover to cover and was lucky enough to have dinner with the author.
Oh, the size of it and the feel of it is
so-
so... Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. What's the age range you think on this one?
Oh, I'd say 8 to 14, depending
Now, this
on
is
your
just
reader.
one of the books
So-
they have at the Enchanted Passage
Yes,
bookstore. in
absolutely. This comes from Fantasy Forest, so we have a genre for everything, and all of our genres are blended with all age levels. So
Size of it.
you can find lower level readers all the way through young adult readers. So we are not just children's books.
And I love the
and-
fact she gave this to me, and it's large print. Believe it or not, I love large print. I think you know why. Sometimes I think, I don't know why it holds my attention easily.
Yeah, it's you don't have to focus as much. Especially, I read this book cover to cover, couldn't put it down.
How long did it take you to read it?
I read it on the plane from here to Seattle. So
How many hours was that?
6-ish or so.
Wow.
So you will love it, I guarantee.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Morgan Crow is a girl who finds that everyone blames her for everything that has gone wrong because they tell her she's cursed her whole life. So she finds herself in almost behind the curtain in another form of dimension, and the author's planning a series of 7, so I can't wait for the next
Have you
ones
met
to
the
come out.
author?
I did. She's wonderful. Jessica Townsend, she's British, and this is her first novel, and she loves it so much.
And she's come over here and met you?
I went to a conference where she was at. She just radiates excitement about her book, and so I read it because I had to be able to meet her, and couldn't. I just loved it so much. So
We'll have to get her on
I
if
can't
she
wait to
comes over.
find. Yes,
Yeah.
I can't wait to find what happens with her characters at the end.
How many series of it do you think? How many issues?
She's planning 7.
7 books. This
7
is the first
books.
one.
This is the first one. It's got a little bit of Harry Potter feel, a little bit of Hunger Games without the violence, a little bit of Gilmore Girls for humor, and just draws you in. You love the characters who you're meant to love, and you really dislike the characters who are not likable. And
Kimberly, when somebody
everybody
walks
can
into
hear,
it,
yeah.
we're talking with Kimberly Cake, and she's the co-owner of Enchanted Passage, and it's a bookstore. It's the only children's bookstore that I know of, focusing on children in this area that I know of.
we
In Sutton.
Yes,
Yeah.
so we're in Sutton. I think the next closest one would be the Blue Bunny, or
Where's that?
That is Peter Reynolds. It's I believe down more towards the Cape. I think.
That's way out for
Yeah,
people to-
so
This is fantastic.
we are super excited. So we have a little something for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
There is an animal section with a lovely sunny porch with comfy chairs that you can come
Do you
in.
have stuffed animals that kids play with?
Oh, we do. We have a lot of great Melissa and Doug toys and critters. So this is from our animal section. This is the young reader's book. Kate DiCamillo, who is one of my longtime favorite authors.
Mercy Wilson the piggy.
Mercy
to the rescue.
Watson to the rescue.
Yeah.
This is number 1 in a series about Mercy Watson, who is this very dynamic, charismatic
Piggy.
Pig.
Hold that up.
pig
Yeah.
who just has all kinds of fun adventures. And this is our first family reader out for younger readers.
And who's the
kindergarten.
author now?
Kate DiCamillo, who I'm sure you're familiar maybe with Because of Winn-Dixie
Yes,
or
I
The
know.
Tale of Despereaux.
Okay, same author.
Kate DiCamillo, she's a fabulous
What's
author.
the age group on that one, Kate?
Kindergarten to 2nd grade, I would say,
All right.
depending on, it says 5 to 8. So,
Okay.
so we've got, so this is from our animal section. We have
What's Renegade Sci-Fi?
Renegades is a sci-fi superhero, great book. One of the best on the Indie First Teen list.
Teens, the teens,
Teens,
yeah.
yes. So a lot of teens say, oh, it's a kid's bookstore. There's nothing for me, but I guarantee you there is. There's something in every genre, from history to fantasy to sci-fi.
A mystery thriller for kids.
Mystery thriller. We've got some great ones. Horror suspense.
Horses, kids love all.
Oh, yes. We've got some great horse books. Actually, we have a hard time keeping them in because they just go. Horses have gone through.
Have you thought of having a? I know over at the Grafton Library they have what's called not so even or even young at heart, but it's for the adults reading young adult books.
Well, I have to say that a lot of adults, we do have an adult wall and some adults, but when we are talking and we're going on a tour through the store, because every new customer gets a tour because it just meanders on, A lot of the YA, the young adult, and
Yeah.
the teen books, even the middle grade books, I read a lot of them.
I check 'em out.
They're great.
They are.
Great stories.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're grown up. Go for it.
And it also makes it fun to talk with your young readers and to be on the same page and to, kind of dialogue, and helps great with reading comprehension when you can discuss a story. So we've got something for everybody.
She's got a whole bunch of things. These are
Yeah.
examples of what's in her store.
Some different ones. So this is another local author. We have a local author shelf, which Renita Crusoe's on, and some great Sutton adult writers.
Yeah.
Which
Hold
is
that
got
one up
some.
so we listen.
But this one is Goldenlocks and the Three Pirates by April Jones Prince, who has written a number of the Who Was series. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but this is her newest one, and she came actually Chain of Lights Day and did an author event in our pirate section, and she sat directly next to Captain Jack, who is our own singing pirate. He's
Does he look anything like Johnny Depp?
Maybe in 100 years or so, he's a little bit of a skeleton. So, but this one is a great fun read, and she's a Shrewsbury author, so we love having people who are local on. And then we have some classics that are new again in Adventure Isle, which you would find superheroes and pirates. Choose Your Own Adventures have made a comeback, which
The Abominable Snowman and Choose Your Own.
Choosing Your Own Adventures. So this is one of the classic Choose Your Own Adventures, which I read as a child. I wish I'd had my whole set.
They didn't have this when I was there.
No, but now they have a whole new
What is it? What is
new
it?
collection. So Choose Your Own Adventure, you, instead of reading this cover to cover, you would read the first part of the chapter, and then it gives you a choice, like this one. If you decide to cancel your meeting, turn to page 7. If you feel that it's okay to go ahead with your plan, go to page 8. So every time you read the book, it's a different story.
It's almost like you're writing your own story.
Yes, and it's so much fun and so exciting. And what I really love is that they are re-energizing the classics, but then coming out with a whole new version for younger readers. Scooby-Doo Choose Your Own Adventures, and there's one, My Parents Are Zombies, or My Grandparents Are Zombies, and all kinds of fun things in all genres to really get kids excited about reading, because it is fun to be engaged and to make your own story.
You have a 2-year-old who's in for a treat, isn't she?
I do, yes. She's my best product tester.
She's lucky to be here from what you told me.
Yeah, she's, she was a peanut. She was just over a pound. She loves books.
Yeah.
We looked at a lot of books in the hospitals, and she loves toys, and she really loves it when she gets to meet new friends who come into the store, because we have story time and music time for kids of...
She's a good age now, too.
She is, yes.
Kimberly, how can people reach you over at the store?
So, we are, we had to kind of make some hard decisions and trim down our hours a little bit. It's been a little on the slower side, and with the winter and the ice and all of the different things. So right now we are open Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 10 to 6, maybe 5 depending if weather's bad and it's super cold. And then Sundays 12 to 5, and hopefully as we can meet the needs of our customers and reevaluate opening, but those are, we found, our busiest times. We are online at enchantedpassage.com.
Yeah.
We have a Facebook page where we list lots of our events, and we have author events and parties and
How can
all
they
kinds
reach
of
you if they
things.
want to order? How would they reach you by phone?
508-841-5437, which translates as 508-841-KIDS, so it's easy to remember.
And wait, again, when are you open right now?
Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Okay.
10 to 5, 10 to 6, and then Sunday 12 to 5.
And now you're in Sutton. Now let's say you're on Route 146, trucking towards the Worcester direction.
Takes me about 15 minutes from Worcester.
All right. So if you pass the little plaza there where the bank is and the post office off of Route 146 in Sutton.
Yep.
Keep heading towards Worcester, or go the other way.
The other way towards Rhode Island.
Towards Whitensville.
Towards
Okay, go
Whitensville.
that
So
way.
you pass Tony's Pizza on your right.
Got it.
You go through the intersection.
Yes.
You take your exit right there.
Go up to the right, up the hill.
Yeah.
Head for the
no,
library.
not Boston. Not
No,
Boston
not that.
Post.
No.
Just past that is Central Turnpike exit.
Okay.
You take that, and it's immediate right, Armsby Road. And we have a big sign that
right
says
off of Central
"Turn right here." Yes, right directly off of it.
Very easy. You're on
Yes.
take that, get on to Central Turnpike, and it's Armsby Road right off of
Yep,
that. And
absolutely.
you can't miss it. And what number is it?
145.
So it's trackling down. Is it on the left or the right?
It's on the right.
color of the house?
Giant pink house.
And there's a big dinosaur.
A big dragon right out in front. So there's a tiny picture
Okay.
right here, but there shows you the pink house. And again, if you go onto the website, there is a directions tab, and that you can map quest it or different ones in there as well.
If you're a children's author out there watching, and they want to get in touch with you, would they just call you, get in touch with you, say, look, I'd like to come over, do a segment?
Oh, absolutely. We would love to have, we're always looking for new authors, and any way you can get a hold of us, you can call, you can email. There's a contact form on the website that goes right to me, so we can definitely...
Show us some more books.
Yes. So...
this is like Disney World to me.
So a movie coming out that some of us know and love well, A Wrinkle in
Hold
Time.
that one up right there.
This is
Wrinkle in
you would
Time.
find this in Outer Limits, which is our sci-fi as well as our space and science
That's
section.
been around a long time, A Wrinkle in Time.
Long time,
Yeah.
yes, and a new movie that's just coming out.
Yeah.
So it's again re-energizing for a whole new generation of kids.
Yeah.
So this will be our next book club book, actually. And then we have the 13-Story Treehouse, which you would find in our general fiction section and Mystery Manor. So the 13-Story Treehouse is a series that goes by 13s. So the first one is the 13th story, and then the 26th story, and then the 39, and the 52, and 69, and then another one is coming out in March. And so if you are a lover of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, this is the book for you.
Remember whatever happened to Captain Underpants?
So Captain Underpants is still around. He's
My
still
son
got
was- yeah,
a
you
great
heard that.
following
Yeah.
of kids who really enjoy it. And there was a movie recently, so that brought a whole new group of kids to it. So yes, very funny. This one is similar in that it's got lots of pictures.
You can even
lots
color
of
those.
pictures.
You can even color them.
Yeah. Very funny, great read, also a fun family read aloud. So I do have parents that say, oh, my kid only likes Diary of a Wimpy Kid. This is a good one to try.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Okay.
The True Scouts of Sugar Man Swamp
what a beautiful
is
cover. Let me see
a
that.
wonderful book about raccoons
The
and
True
adventure.
Blue Scouts of Sugarman Swamp.
So you would find this on our animal section. This is a great intermediate level for animal
Are those
books.
two little raccoons?
They are.
Oh, it was a National Book Award finalist.
It is, yes. We really try and curate a great selection where new authors, classics, award winners. That's one of my favorite parts is finding the perfect book for everyone.
Definitely.
Especially, well, both readers who have read through everything, so they're always looking for something new, and the readers who say, I don't like to read anything. That's my personal challenge, is to let's find a book that everyone loves.
Yeah, you have the kind of kid in school who says, well, we got to read this for the class.
Yeah.
Not every kid wants to read.
No, but sometimes you just need to find that spark of something that will engage
They're so
them.
used to being on the computer.
Yes. We actually have a great selection of graphic novels as well, which do engage kids who are really visual learners or like that style. That there's a lot of fun ones. And they aren't just the Japanese anime that a lot of people associate them with. Some of them have great storylines, and they do capture kids who just learn differently or are more artistic or different things. So that's a great section.
We're talking with Kimberly Cake, and she is a co-owner of Enchanted Passage, and it is a children's bookstore in Sutton, Massachusetts. Right off of Route 146, take the Central Turnpike exit, Armsby Road, easy to find. If I could find it, you could find it.
So, not only do we have local authors for kids, we have local authors for adults. Two of my favorite are Lisa Shea.
Oh, I know. She's been on with us many times.
Yes, Lisa Shea. We have her whole series of books, plus some of the other ones she's written.
Great author.
And the Sutton
I think I got all of her books.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's got a new one, Elm Espionage, so you'll have to check it out.
Okay.
And then Art Martin, have you had him on as well?
I'm not sure. Doesn't sound familiar.
So Art Martin is one of our local authors. This is Summer of 1840. So I love the story behind this book in that he bought an 1840 house right off of Singletary Lake. And it came with a trunk of original documents from the first homeowner.
True.
Yeah. So this is a historical romance that he based on letters and documents that were in the trunk that came with the house from 1840.
Uncle Martin. I haven't heard of it.
Yes. So it is Awesome. Now, he also works out at Old Sturbridge Village and does dance there. And
Is he a, what do they call, impersonator there?
No, I think he does... I think he told me he does historical dance, and he also works at Clark College.
Clark University.
Clark University. So he's definitely a local gem. And this one has had a great following. People have been asking for it, which is
All
wonderful.
right, we'll have to get him on because, see, it's local. A lot of
Yes.
people, this show is showed out of the country. It's showed all over the United States.
Yeah.
But for people who live locally, it's a little extra special because they say, oh, good, I can go over and find out about that.
Absolutely. So we love, we have a number of different ones out of Boston, Shrewsbury. So this one's my new favorite. This is Dear Girl. This is written by Amy Krauss Rosenthal with collaboration from her daughter.
How old is her daughter? Let me guess, about 5, 6?
No, I think she's grown now, but this one is a great one. Well, she's done with college, her daughter. So Amy Krauss Rosenthal recently passed away, and we were so sad to hear that.
Her daughter passed away?
No, Amy the author, passed away, recently. And we love her books. I love her books personally. My daughter has a collection of them. But this one's brand new.
Did you meet her daughter that she collaborated with?
I didn't. I would love to. I would love to sit down and chat with her. But this one is, the second I saw it, I knew this one had to be on our shelves at the store and on my daughter's shelf.
What age group do you think?
I would buy this for any daughter. I bought this for my 2-year-old. I would buy this for I would recommend anyone who has a girl in their lives that they love, no matter what the age.
Granddaughter, daughter, niece?
Yeah.
Sure.
Grown-ups, children.
There's
This
a little
one
girl in my
is-
family, I'm thinking, if I could get her to sit down and read. I'm not sure yet if her mom's reading with her.
This is
give her
one that will
books,
be a treasure for years and years to come.
It's hard to be a grandparent who loves to read, but you're not sure if the mother of the little one are reading with them. I give
Yeah.
them books, but I'm not sure.
Yes, so this one celebrates what it is to be a girl. Strong and independent and creative and just lovely. And then, we have Time Machine room, which is historical fiction and nonfiction, but we have a shelf dedicated to women's history, which Women's History Month is in March, but we have a rotating selection. And we just recently got Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, and this is the second one that came out in November.
Yeah.
And super excited about this one.
Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls.
So, this is a book where you will find strong, independent, courageous women that you may never have heard about, and their stories and great artwork and diverse and across categories. So when I first came across this book, I thought, oh, this is definitely for older readers because they're great stories. Again, for any age, elementary, you could use it for middle school. It would be a great primary source. But we have a lot of parents who do these as bedtime stories, and
I would read it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It is great. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful series.
And,
So
this is great.
this book started as a Kickstarter campaign. The first one did, and it took off. And
Gloria Steinem.
yeah,
Let me see. And also Beatrix Potter. I love her.
yeah.
And what was the other Harry Potter girl there?
Oh,
What is her name? Oh, I just saw it. Agatha Christie.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, J.K. I think it was J.K. Yeah, and then Agatha Christie.
Yes. So we have another one that I don't have with me, but 50 Women in Science. And then she's just come out with a new book, 50 Women in Sports. And the next one will be 50 Women in the Arts, who again are stories about people that you very rarely hear about who have made tremendous impacts on society and history and science and math. And
Well, when you get that assignment in school, they'll say, well, you have to find somebody, popular or famous, and write about that person. If you're, this is for girls, obviously, the women who have, you can come right to your store, Enchanted Passage, and Kimberly has a book already that talks about, tons of famous women.
And we have a lot of other biographies. The teacher part of me really loves it when the kids come in and they get so excited about learning about history and politics and government and
at that
science
age,
and
really?
All ages. There's a great new series of book called Science for Babies, which if I had a sticker to put over the babies part, I could use in classrooms.
Everybody.
They're these great board books about this big, and they break down scientific theorems, quantum physics, Newtonian physics, all kinds of...
My son would have loved that.
So, and then the graphics are very simple to make them easy to understand. They're a great STEM starter for any age. And I do love that there are so many things available to really make science and math and technology and engineering available, accessible, exciting.
Confusing.
Sometimes confusing.
The way they're teaching addition now is crazy.
Yeah, that's one of those
Instead
things.
of going right directly and getting your answer, they go through New Jersey to Florida to get to it.
Yeah. But there's always those kids that are different learners that it reaches somebody. But so besides being a bookstore, we are also an enrichment center. So we work really hard to find different ways to reach all kinds of kids with engaging workshops and parties and author events.
Autism and ADHD.
So my own child has autism. And we are learning more and more and trying to curate a selection of books for kids. We have a great book that's actually written by an autistic teenager of how to talk to autistic kids.
What's the name of that?
How to Talk to an Autistic Kid, I think, is that one. And then we have some great new parenting books as well. How to parent kids with OCD, how to engage with your autistic child, all kinds of different things. We have a book called Unraveling Rose that is for kids with OCD, which there are an immense amount of kids with OCD and anxiety, which makes me sad that this is even an issue. But it's about a bunny, a stuffed bunny, who cannot help but pick out her strings and her stuffing, and she needs to find the right friend to help her cope. And at the back, it's got a really great passage about what it's like to have OCD and some coping skills. And so from picture books on up, they're meeting needs of kids who have special needs. And also really coming out with some wonderful books to integrate all cultures, all societies, so that nobody's left out and it's not just the same types of characters anymore.
Do you have books on the different religions too?
We have a few, not so many on the different religions, but the thing is that if you can't find what you're looking for, I will find it for you.
We're talking with Kimberly Cake, and boy, she's the go-to girl here. I mean, if I brought in the two little ones in my family, even my own son, who's, you're the one who would find out. You can tell it with Kimberly. She just ask her, and she's going to be the go. She's going to find it. Kimberly, again, we got about a minute left. How do people find you now?
So again, we're at 145 Armsby Road in Sutton, the old Valancourt Folk Arts building. We're a big 1824 pink house with a giant dragon. 508-841-5437. We're on Facebook at Enchanted Passage LLC. We have a website, enchantedpassage.com. Reach out, we're here, and we can't wait to meet you.
And if they want a phone?
508-841-5437, which is, again, 508-841-KIDS, KIDS. So,
if by any chance they call when you're not there, obviously you must have an answering machine.
We do, and we also, you can reach bookstore or Kimberly at enchantedpassage.com, and we will get back to you just as soon as we can.
And then one more time, when are you open?
Right now, Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 6, and Sunday, 12 to 5.
We needed a children's bookstore. And it's great because I think you can actually work almost in tandem with libraries, that type of thing.
We really are excited about partnering with different communities. Yeah. We're going to be doing some events with the March of Dimes. We're going to be doing ones where through the Worcester baseball team.
Yes.
All kinds of things. So we want to be a part of our community. We're excited to be here.
Let me tell you one thing. UMass Memorial Medical Center has a children's medical center within it.
They do.
Perfect thing for you.
Yes. I just actually did a paint night for the NICU moms at the hospital, and we did a donation where kids could donate books to kids who were at the hospital.
What better?
So, yeah.
So they have a cart, I think, that they push around.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My son was over in UMass. Yeah. I mean, it couldn't be nicer. I mean, he was maybe 13 by then, and by the fun guy that comes around, can I get you anything, any toy? Or, my son was like, I'm okay, but he was great. I mean, I enjoyed having him around.
Yes,
We need you in the adult section.
That's right.
Kimberly, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me.
We need to have you on again because we need to keep getting it out that you've got a children's bookstore right here in Sutton, which is a hop, skip, and a jump from this area.
Yes.
It's not far at all. And I foresee you're probably going to be opening, I'll bet you, when the weather gets nicer, more days.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I hope so. As soon as we can meet the needs of our customers and we get busier, we will open more. And we have things for children of all ages.
Don't forget to check when you come in the Upton Town Library, the big bulletin boards. Check that because she's going to be putting up some of the brochures for Enchanted Passage Bookstore. And you'll see some up there. Please feel free to take one, contact them, go on over and check it out. Children of all ages and adults of all ages.
Yes.
Everybody's welcome
for
to
the
go.
child at heart. Yes.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time and be my guest.
Bye.